Hi, this is Michael Bagley. I know from Watchman News. Um, this has probably been going on for years, and I know this is probably an old clip that I have here from Fox, from Sean Hannity, but it's the same thing today. They never got rid of these ISIS training camps. They're still here in the United States. There's like 33 or 35 of them spread across the United States. And, well, Trump claimed that these training camps, not training camps, but ISIS was dissolved. ISIS was taken care of. ISIS was taken out, is what he said. Okay, so what about the ISIS training camps in the United States? Let's have a listen to Sean Hannity from Fox News.
The group is responsible for over 50 attacks on U.S. soil and has over 35 compounds right here in our very own nation. Now, a new investigation by the Christian Action Network has uncovered some disturbing information about the spread of homegrown terrorists and what they mean for America. It's a frightening thought. Islamic terrorist training camps right here in America, in our backyards. The group Muslims of America, or Jamaat al-Furqa, as they're called in Pakistan, have established over 35 communities across the U.S. The group claims to be peaceful, but a videotape uncovered by the Christian Action Network shows that they can have a much more sinister side. The video, called The Soldiers of Allah, features Sheikh Mubarak Ali Ghanali, the mastermind and the leader of the group here in the U.S.
We are establishing training camps. You can reach us, at Royal Group University offices in upstate New York, or in Canada, or in Michigan, or in South Carolina, or in Pakistan, wherever we are. You can reach us.
The tape goes on to teach Ghalani's American followers tactics in guerrilla warfare, including scaling mountains, subduing enemies, murdering guards, hijacking cars, kidnapping, weapons training, and setting off explosives. Ghalani is a Pakistani national best known for allegedly setting up journalist Daniel Pearl in 2002. Pearl was on the way to meet with him when he was abducted and eventually gruesomely beheaded. Armed with the, quote, Soldier of Allah training video and a history of Ghalani's terrorist rhetoric, investigators went to several of the compounds to confront his followers.
You are a liar and you're a liar.
Don't say another word. Understand?
They were met with denial, hostility, and in some cases even violence.
Clearly looks like either knife holes or bullet holes.
And the question remains, why have these communities been left to flourish here in the U.S.? And is it only a matter of time before this anger spills on over into a violent incident? And Martin Moyer now joins us. 35 facilities in the U.S. Tell me this is not true, and how does this continue to exist?
Well, there's 35 compounds, villages, communities that Sheikh Jilani has inside the United States. They range anywhere from the east coast of New York, South Carolina, to the west coast, Seattle, Washington, Hancock, New York, down to Texas.
Knowing the extremism that you're talking about, that he advocates here, and this is not in dispute, correct?
No, it's not in dispute.
Then why would the United States government allow these facilities to stay open?
Well, we spent 2.5 years investigating this group, and during that time we interviewed law enforcement about why these groups, why these facilities are allowed to exist in the United States. We got a host of reasons, but the number one reason is they are protected by the U.S. Constitution and they are protected by state constitutions in the United States. Really, law enforcement hands are tied in trying to shut these groups down.
All right, I want you to explain to our audience here, because you're describing this particular man, his involvement, you say, in the Daniel Pearl, beheading. How certain are you that every one of those compounds shares the radical views?
We went to 7 of these compounds. We had the Soldiers of Allah videotape, which your viewers just watched. And we said we're going to set out on a mission. We're going to visit the 7 compounds we were aware of and ask their leaders to watch this tape, either accept or reject Sheikh Jilani's call to be an Islamic guerrilla warfare training camp. None of them rejected that tape.
How is he connected specifically to each and every compound?
Well, each and every compound is owned by a group called Muslims of America. Muslims of America in the United States is their American name for a group based in Pakistan called Jamaat al-Furqa.
Which is the one that he is and these are his words, and this is what his advocacy is. So in other words, let me guess, you tell me if I'm wrong here, so that when you went to these 7 compounds of the 35, if they were to condemn the statements of him, that would mean to them what? Or for them what?
Actually, none of them would condemn him. These people believe Sheikh Jelani is the direct descendant of the Prophet Muhammad, that he speaks for the Prophet Muhammad. They follow him with utmost loyalty. They believe basically he is speaking for the word of Allah. They will not condemn him. They will not criticize him. That's what we learned. As a matter of fact, in one camp in Jessup, Georgia, one of the leaders watched the Soldiers of Allah videotape and said, what's wrong with Sheikh Jelani setting up paramilitary training camps inside the United States? I encourage your viewers to watch this tape, just see what happens.
Do you think Jelani's facilities in the U.S. are planning attacks on American cities, and it's almost unimaginable in a post 9/11 world that could exist? You're saying you think that they're planning, plotting, scheming the next attack against the Americans?
Not only do I believe that, not only will people watch this documentary believe that, but even the law enforcement officials that we have spoken with, not the ones based in Washington, D.C., but the field officers, they believe that. We've had law enforcement tell us they have weapons of mass destruction, that they...
What kind of weapons of mass destruction?
Well, in some cases I can't even tell you, Sean, because the confidential information that was given to me by these particular law enforcement officials...
So you're saying without a doubt you could look in these cameras tonight and tell the American people that there are terrorist training camps on our soil, we're not doing anything about it, and they're planning and they will hit America?
I would say without a doubt, Al-Qaeda would love to have such compounds that range from 25 acres to 300 acres sitting on American soil in order to hide terrorists, hide weapons, and train future jihadists for the United States. It's shocking.
Oh, Mr. Moore, it's shocking. Thank you for being with us. Appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
And
So there you are. It could be Al-Qaeda. It may not be ISIS at all, but it probably terrorist bands from Iran. I mean, I've heard a lot of that going on, that there are like groups from Iran over here infiltrating and getting involved in doing this training and stuff going on. I mean, this is a pretty big thing. But you could also understand, former President Obama was asked, it's on video somewhere, I just can't find the video, but I listened to it myself the time that he was on. I mean, it was live. That he was asked what he was going to do about these terrorist training camps. And he said, not a thing, nothing. He said they're not doing anything wrong. They're not doing anything against the law. So I ask you, what are we to profit from a terrorist organization training in the United States? Not a thing. Could it be they're going to attack one day, given the right go ahead? Nobody really knows. But it's something to keep your eye out on. It's a very serious matter. Along with this signing, President Trump signed the no-hide laws again. And back in '91, Bush signed it and got it public law. So it's law, folks. It's not a bill, not just a bill anymore, it's actually law here in the United States. And I'd suggest that you find the time and research no-hide laws to find out what's going on. Because this is a really bad thing for Gentiles. Gentiles are non-Jews. Gentiles are Christians, and they're also the unsaved. So we all got something bad to look forward coming in the near future. Just look into it. I'll do another report on no-hide laws soon. I'm just digging up information for it. But you need to keep an eye out here. I know that President Trump has done some good things, but since he signed that, I lost all confidence in him for being president. Alright, the man called himself a Christian. That's not a Christian. A Christian doesn't go against the Ten Commandments like that. Doesn't just throw them out and pick up 7 Noahide laws from the Talmud. A Christian just doesn't do that. But as for this report today, I am done. I want you to think about it. If you want to see some more of these videos, please subscribe. Click the bell so you can get notified. And have a blessed day. And again, I don't mean to scare you with any of this. As a Christian, you shouldn't be scared. You're covered. Through Jesus' blood, you are covered. You've got the shield of God around you. And if you here, it's a win-win situation. If you do die, you go to heaven. You endure to the end, you go to heaven. But if you're not a Christian, you're going to go to hell. So you just keep that in mind. That big decision that you're going to make. This is the big decision, the big choice you're going to make. Who you're going to serve. Paul Michael Gagliano for Watchman News. God bless.